I want to also circle back to when we first started about the aesthetic and the style of clothing, talking about being a young girl and maybe some people not taking you seriously.
Yep.
What have you found your experience to be as a woman in business? And do you ever feel like there's either fewer opportunities or more naysayers? Have you had any sort of negativity at all being a young woman compared to, being the middle-aged white male?
I think it's my story is very interesting. Who I was when I was 21, 22, all the way up to 28, how people perceived me and took me in. I had to prove myself a lot, for sure. And I had to, learn a lot and do all of that. But I think one thing most people don't touch upon is women were actually the hardest on me, not men. And my whole mentor basically is all men, which is not something everyone actually has or says. I've asked women in fashion, in business and stuff to mentor me. I have 2 women that supported me, but a lot of people said no. And, women can be nasty. It is. I don't think people talk about it. And that's why I tried, when the younger girls work for me and stuff, I try to be the best version I can of myself, because I never had someone that I could turn to and look up to as a woman, besides my mom, my grandma, that would really be there and help me and guide me. I had all men that were developers or in construction. How did you do this? And I can call them anytime, any day, text them and say, how should I handle this? What's your best piece of advice? And they would give me any sort of support they can to get through whatever we were challenged with.
That's really surprising.
It's very surprising.
I wonder what you might chalk that up to. Do you think that there was sort of this fear of sharing a piece of the pie from women, or why do you think you got that sort of resistance from them?
I think in Boston, there's not a lot who do at the time what I was doing. So always there's that competition side.
Yeah.
I think if you don't compete with them, they were more welcoming, but a lot of women didn't. There's no woman I could call, I call my mentors that are men, that would answer and be there for me as quick as they are. Yeah.
That blows my mind.
It shocks a lot of people when I tell, because a lot of people think, it's all women support women and all this stuff. And I want to say that, and I want to be there. But I think that's why, to me, owning my businesses, and I say to the girls, I could just have my store and live this happy life. But then I meet awesome people like Ronnie and Lily and all these girls. And I'm like, now I'm the example to you guys. So now I have to do the right thing and educate you and build you girls in these proper ways and teach you things anywhere from life to business that I didn't have someone for.
Yeah.
And I have to be that for everyone. And so that not only am I owning a business, but I also have to live this life to be an example that I didn't have.
Yeah. Well, I'm really sorry that you had that experience.
It's not sorry. I think everything happens for a reason. And I think it's interesting that what you see in society about all this girl boss stuff and all of that, I've met all of those celebrities. I met Sophia Amoroso and all of that. And I didn't get that feeling when I met her, which was really let me down, because I was like, that's what we're supposed to be, go girl.
Right.
And it wasn't really that. And I think men can be a lot more welcoming than women have been, in my experience, from what I've been through.
Well, I'm glad you didn't let it discourage you. You kept pushing, you kept moving forward. And I also love that it did not change how you chose to conduct yourself. You learned from that experience and said, I'm going to make sure I do the opposite, because you don't want to leave that same impression on other women. But I'm really glad that you are here, because that's what this show is all about, is supporting other women. So
yes.
You've made it to the right place, darling.
We love being here. I'm so excited, because I think there's a lot to do and a lot for our generation of what examples we can set. And I always say, you can't choose the challenges that you're handed, but you can choose how to handle them, move forward, right?
Yes. That is right.
So all these times you get all these challenges, and it's like, with how people handle things, whether it's a guy or a girl. And I say, you know, they have to wake up every day being that person. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and do something better. And you just got to keep trucking along.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's very similar. Like I always kind of say, like, I can't control how somebody acts towards me, but I can choose how I react towards that.
Absolutely.
You know? So like, it's like, remember who you are, your character, stay true to like your own conviction. And that's going to go, you know, you'll be rewarded tenfold with your karma and the next, you know, phases of your life, because I think that people can get bitter and that can kind of chip away at them, and then they have that chip on their shoulder. So the people that sort of just want to keep it pushing, they'll be okay in the end, you know?
Well, whoever's supposed to be in your circle will. I always believe that.